Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Prison Architect. It has been pointed out to me in the comments by quite a few of you that adding a workshop to the maximum security prison is certainly a choice, and that having dormitories instead of regular cells is also a choice that I have made, both of which might make this a little bit more dangerous than it needs to be. But I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like to live dangerously, and if anything, it'll be funny when everything goes terribly wrong. Now, in saying that, I do want to come down this way to our cleaning cupboard and infirmary space, which is still not done. My workers are starting to take longer and longer to do anything, which is really frustrating, and it's really starting to grind my gears just a little bit, just how long everything's taking. Also, sometimes when I try to prioritize things, it just doesn't do it. The game is, it feels like it's falling apart. I'm gonna be honest with you. It really feels like it's falling apart, and it's really frustrating because I love this game so much. It just, you know, I don't want to dive into this whole thing again. We talked about it in the last episode of my frustrations with Prison Architect. I love this game. I adore this game. I've played it so much over the years. I played it when it first became available, and I really do. So I don't want it to seem like I have nothing but bad things to say about it. It's just, I'm trying to think of what game it's reminding me of, but there's a handful of games we've played on the channel over the years where as you get later in the game, it just starts to fall apart at the seams, and that's what it feels like this is starting to do. But anyway, that's not what I want to focus on. Like I said, what I want to focus on is making this maximum security prison just a little bit better. Because something I've noticed is that my guards take forever for their shift changes to happen. And I realize that part of that is going to be because while we do have a staff room over here, we don't have a staff canteen in this space. And our nearest staff canteen is down in the admin block, which means my guards need to go down here if they happen to want to eat anything, which is kind of problematic. So what I think I would like to do is come up to the max sec prison, and I want to expand the staff room. And then I think off the side of the staff room, I'm going to build a little canteen. Now, it's not going to be accessible from the cell block. They will access it through the staff room itself. But I think this should mean, and this hopefully will mean, that we might end up in a situation where my guards don't have to travel quite as far to, well, take a break. That's kind of the idea. We'll go ahead and get rid of those walls right there. We'll prioritize that. We can go ahead and sell all of this flooring and that flooring up to about there. Should be totally fine. And then we'll go ahead and once these walls are gone, we can put down some more running track to sort of run around the outside of this little extension that we're building. And you know, just while we're doing this, I actually do want to bring up one more thing about me complaining about Prison Architect. Two more things, actually, very quick things. One is that it comes from a place of love. It genuinely does. And two is that in defense of Prison Architect, it is an older game at this point. It's no spring chicken, you know? So it's all well and good that I'm sitting here with the hindsight, with, you know, however many years I've been playing this and complaining, but I think it says more about Prison Architect in a positive light that we're still playing it and talking about it all these years later, both with the work that Paradox has done with it and the work that Introversion did with it originally. Like, I think credit where it's due to Introversion for like the initial game and the initial idea. Like it's like anything. We're playing it all these years later. We're talking about it all these years later. They've definitely done something right is basically what I'm getting at. Anyway, while this construction's going on, I want to go to intelligence and see if we do have some potential confidential informants down here in Max Sec. So I want you, I don't want to go down and look at that worker. That's not what I'm trying to do. And I want to get you, because my thinking here is that I want to activate a bunch of my informants and just, you know what, I'm going to activate all of them that I have in here, other than the two we just, well, you know what, we'll activate you as well, because I really want to get an idea of how we're looking. Is that another potential? That absolutely is another potential right there. Don't mind if I do. I actually want to keep things paused for a second here because I don't want to bring in all these maximum security inmates just yet. I want to go around and just make sure that we have everyone where they should be. You guys can be informants as well, absolutely. Basically, I just want to sort of scan across the prison and see, you know, is there anyone like you, for example? You are legendary. You're in here for murder, and arson, and you're in minimum security. I feel like this guy should be moved straight over to maximum security. He should be out of here. That is not someone that should be in this space, especially with a snitch right there. That's probably going to end really badly. I did see, I don't remember exactly where, but I did see a comment, I think, that mentioned that snitches are typically quite safe in minimum security, so we might be all right with that. You're in here for murder, kidnapping. I think you go to maximum security as well, because that seems like a solid bet. There is another legendary here somewhere. Is it you? Is it you? It's kind of hard to tell. Let's let them move around a little bit. It is, I think it's you. I think you're the legendary that I'm looking for. You're in here for a while, but I think you're going to be all right. I think we'll leave you alone. So you're going to be targeted. I'm going to try this out. We're going to see if snitches are safe in minimum security. What are you in here for? You're also a snitch. Okay, I'm not too concerned about that. Obviously, everyone up there is a bit of a target. That's to be expected. Down here is a problem, and you are a snitch. You will be in trouble in here. Now, you being extremely volatile worries me. I don't love the idea of putting you in protective custody, but a snitch in max sec just seems like we're asking for trouble, so we'll move you around. We have 13 protective custody or protected custody prisoners now, so that maxes us out there. That should be fine. That should work out. We'll get people moved around. Hopefully everything works out. We have this construction going ahead up here, which is like one little bit away from being done, other than the fact that we need an entrance. So let's just take out this wall, since that's going to make things, well, just a little bit. Oh, who's dead? Why? 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 Oh my God, he's got shears and he's killed 2 of them. We might need some guards to come over here and deal with this. There we go. We got him. Why? Why would you do that? Oh my God. Okay. You, I think, can maybe go to maximum security as well. We'll get you out of here because that's a little bit problematic. It's not a good thing at all. And how are we looking here? We're looking pretty good. Let me go ahead then and do a bit of white wall here. Let me do a nice little staff door here. And we'll go ahead and just extend our staff room into this space. We can go ahead and get ourselves a nice canteen and extend it all in through that space. And then I guess we look for some objects for the staff room, which in this case, I mean, we have some stuff we can move around. So let's move this couch. I guess we'll start with that and put it here. We'll move this one to the bottom and we'll put the cactus between them. That seems like a decent start. This snack machine, maybe, I think right about there with a nice plant on that side of the door. Seems like a pretty good setup. Let me also just prioritize moving all of this around because otherwise this is going to take forever to do. I just want to get this place as comfortable as it can possibly be. Why? Why are we getting a call from the chief? What do you want? The leader of one of the gangs is currently being punished. It's my choice how to proceed, but all their gang members are going to cause a lot of trouble while the punishment is in place. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is it you? Who is the gang leader that's causing problems here? Is it you? I honestly have no idea. Can we you're a gang member. It doesn't say that you're like a leader. So that's interesting. That's a little bit concerning. I don't necessarily love that. Who is it? Is it you? No, I don't know if any of you guys are in gangs. All right. What about up this way? Ooh, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be you. I honestly have no idea. You know what? It's fine. It's okay. This happens. This is like, you know, if he doesn't want to be punished, then he shouldn't, you know, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. That's like prison 101, right? So, oh man, the temperature in the prison's really getting up there now. 10 gang members are furious that their leader is being punished. This is going to be a really, I don't know who the leader is. I don't know how long they're being punished for. I don't think they're in max sec. I think it's going to be like, there's a lot of noise over here. I'm assuming it's a medium security. Is it you? You're a gang member. I honestly have no idea how we find who I have to assume it's you, right? How long are you in here for? You're going to be in here for another 12 hours for murder and attacking staff. Okay, you know what? You're staying there. you're staying there. It's entirely possible I'm going to regret that decision, but he's going to be staying there. We'll put some couches in here. Let's move this drink machine into that space just because we can. We can get more arcade cabinets in here as well. I think that'll be a pretty good idea, just to give my staff a little something more to do. What do you think you're doing? You are not getting in there to clean the staff room. Absolutely not happening. Go what? Okay, maybe you are. He's cleaning the door. It's fine. He's found a loophole. He's just cleaning the door, not the staff room itself. Anyway, other than the little coffee table that we don't have in here yet, I think the staff room is looking pretty solid. So I want to move on to our staff canteen, which I want to hopefully have serve as many members of staff as we can possibly get. Now, my thinking with this is we probably don't need 2 serving tables, but I'm going to do it anyway. Am I? Maybe not. We'll do 1. We'll do a small one, and then we'll do a recycling bin, and we'll do a regular bin, because my thinking now is we do, how do I want to do the tables? That's the other question. I guess we do 1, skip 2, do another one, skip 2, do another one, and then just a bunch of benches in here, and that'll keep it pretty good. It's not going to be the prettiest looking staff canteen we've ever had, but it will be functional. It will be connected to this kitchen, which does mean that the cooks might be in trouble if they go through the cell block to get there, which they don't have to do, but they probably will end up doing, which is very unfortunate. But my hope for this place is that what we achieve is a place for my guards to go and get their dinner, their lunch, whatever it might be, without having to leave the maximum security facility, and that will hopefully mean that my guards are a little bit more readily available to take up a patrol, take up a shift, whatever it might be. That's the idea. That's the goal. That's the hope. Why do we have a complaint here? What is the issue here? 274 out of 284. So we have room for 10 prisoners. We have 115 out of 121 minimum, 89 out of 92, and then 57 out of 58. There's 1 prisoner unable to be assigned to a cell. I don't know who that is. Is it this medical attention one? It could be that. Although I'm realizing we do have this infirmary here. Can I just check something with this? It's shared. Okay. This actually ties in really nicely to the next thing that I want to do and the next thing that I want to improve. Because protected custody over here is great and all, but they don't have a parole room, they don't have a classroom, and they don't have an infirmary. So what I was thinking I would do was turn this room into an infirmary, which is an option. It is something we could do, but I want to start with the parole room because we might be able to build an infirmary. Now, the way I'm thinking of doing this parole room is very simple. I think we come in here, we do 7 and 7, because the parole room needs to be 5 by 5 on the inside. So if we build it here, we can turn this whole thing into just 1 corridor that comes down here. And then for the visitors, they come in through what will be this corridor, and that should work out quite nicely. But I was kind of thinking that maybe we could rearrange this slightly. I guess I might do this. We're gonna play around here for a second and just see what exactly my options would be, because I do sort of like the idea of having an infirmary down here. The only problem is we would still need to separate access for prisoners and visitors. So we would still want to do our parole room like here. And then the infirmary, I guess, would be sort of this space, I suppose, which really isn't much space at all. We could continue it sort of down here, I guess. And that would mean that my doctor enters through this way. That seems like it would kind of work out. Now, there's not really anything I have in mind to put in this space, but I feel like the little infirmary down here is fine. I think this will sort of work out. So what we'll do is go to flooring. I don't know why I'm paused while doing this, but we'll go to flooring. We'll do a little bit of dirt or sand or whatever it was, sand right about there. That should work out. We can clear our planning for that corner because we don't need it. And then I guess as soon as the sand is put in, I guess what we could also do actually is go ahead and just dismantle all of the trees down here just to clear out the space and make it a little bit easier to build in. And then I guess we just go ahead and we get our concrete foundation and figure out what this is going to look like. These guys are not thrilled. What are they lacking right now? Safety and hygiene? They'll be all right. They might be all right. Let's build this, which seems good. Let's build that part, and that part, and hopefully get this all done nice and quickly. I want to demolish that wall, and I want to also go ahead and just dismantle that door because we're not going to be needing it. And I guess we'll prioritize those just to make that a little bit of a quicker process. Oh my God, look at the size of this tunnel. What is that? Where does that go? Oh, wow. I'm actually kind of impressed by that. Let me stop the search. Why has there been a death? What happened? Killed for being a snitch. Of course you were. Okay, we might need to do another informant check here shortly. But first things first, I shouldn't say it. I really shouldn't be proud of the prisoners for digging a tunnel, but I'm actually a little bit... Proud is maybe not the word. Impressed is definitely the word. Now, you having overdosed, because we don't have an infirmary for you, you might die. So I think what I'm going to do temporarily is set this infirmary to shared and hope that someone grabs this guy and takes him down to the infirmary and that he makes it. He did not. Oh my God. Oh, that's miserable. That's not good. We're working on it though. We're fixing it, right? We're building this beautiful space right here. Man, we do so many searches around here. It's ridiculous. Anyway, this space here is looking pretty good as far as I'm concerned. So let's get ourselves some concrete walls here, here, and here. We'll go to doors, and then my thinking is a double visitor door right about there. I think a single regular door right about there should be okay. And then for the infirmary, we'll do a double door here. That should be all right. And I think we do secure this with something like a large jail door just about here and also down here, just so that if anyone does happen to run through the parole room, they are met with a door that has a little bit more resistance than just a regular door. That kind of seems like it would make sense to me. We'll get some door servos in there as well, which will be fantastic. We will need to do some lighting. We'll need to do some flooring, but I think for now, let's do, let's see, what way do I want to light this place? I guess just some lights. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's just do, I don't know, that should be fine, I guess. We don't really need to put lights there. We will do a light here. We'll do a light here, and we'll do some lights here, and I guess there. And that's probably going to be enough. We might want something in that corridor just to make sure it's nice and bright as well. And we'll go ahead and just prioritize all the work that needs done down here because I'm getting impatient. I want to get this in here. I want to make sure that the protected custody inmates are safe. They have healthcare, they have parole opportunities, and I guess while we're waiting on this, we can go up this way and we can say that we do want to get a classroom, which is what this space can be. If we search for objects for a classroom, maybe we go for a desk here, maybe we go for something like 8, not like that, but We can go for 8 of these guys. I could put them down here, but I like leaving the little gap there. I think it looks good. We'll do a blackboard here. We'll do a water cooler. I want to say right about there. And I guess a little bookshelf right about there. And you know what? I think we go for the green carpet just to make it look a little bit different. I don't think we've done the green carpet anywhere, so that'll be good for that classroom, I think. And also power. I've just realized we don't have a great power system down here. So we'll bring some electricity through here just to make sure that everything's going to be connected. And there we go. We have our parole room. We have our infirmary. We have our classroom. We just need to make sure that they're going to be working. So I think what I'm going to do is, what am I going to do here? I'm looking at this space and thinking that I sort of don't want prisoners going through there unless they have to go through there. So if it's access only, people will try to avoid access only zones if possible, preferring to take other routes around your prison. So if I make this protected but access only, I guess maybe if it does what if it's smart, it'll go, hey, a prisoner wants to get to this cell, but that's access only. This way isn't access only, so they'll go around. Whereas it's like, hey, a prisoner wants to go to parole, they have to go through this space. That's kind of how I'm hoping it works. I guess we'll also do access only here and see how that plays out. Hopefully it works. I honestly got no idea. We'll figure it out. But what we do need to do is go into programs and go to edit schedule, because we do not have a protected custody classroom because I did not change the security on it. So now we have a protected custody classroom, which I realize does not have any lights in it. So very quickly, we'll get some lights in there. We'll go back to our schedule and we have, let's see here. Can I look specifically for protected custody? I totally can. I love that. I need to do that more often. And then for this classroom, we'll do foundation education and 3 strikes training. That seems sort of interesting. That seems like a good way to do it. There's definitely something going on in here. What is this? Why am I down here? You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So back to the schedule and back to protective custody. We have some offices. We'll not worry too much about those right now. We have parole. Now, parole everywhere else runs from 9 in the morning until 9 at night. So we will do 3 potential parole hearings all throughout the day. We could do treatment of drug addiction in their infirmary. That might not be a bad idea. I might move that to a little bit later in the day though, just to see how that goes. And that seems fine. What we will need to do then is go over this way and make sure that everything's nice and safe. So I think for parole at all times, we want to have a guard assigned to this room. So basically all during the day. I think we will have one assigned to the infirmary during work hours just to be safe. And that should keep us pretty good right there. That should now mean though, actually, you know what? We also probably want one in the classroom during the day as well, just to be extra safe. But that should put us in a good spot. That should mean that these inmates are now able to, yeah, there we go. They're able to get down here, which is what we want to see. No idea who you happen to be, but that's all right. I've got no idea if any of the parole lawyers or whoever will make it to this prison in time because they have to cross the entire map to get here, which is something that I know there are some concerns about. I have seen some comments that are like, hey, did you ever consider that, you know, you might you might be kind of making your programs less effective by having them so far away from like where the guests come in? And yes, that's entirely possible, but it's fine. What are you doing? Oh, wait, no, you're here. Wait, you're on the wrong side of the table, bud, but okay, he means well. I'm sure he means well. Anyway, we now have this gang leader being escorted to a cell. He does need to be searched pretty much immediately upon arrival, which might get him thrown back in solitary. It didn't. Okay, that's fine. Can I assign you a guard? We can do that. So does that now mean that there is just going to be a guard shadowing you all the time? I think that was the guard. I think that's exactly what that means. I think there's going to be a guard shadowing that gang leader all the time. I honestly don't know. I don't really know how it works, but that's kind of funny if that happens to be the case. That's gonna be immensely frustrating for that guy, but he ain't gonna be doing nothing without a guard seeing it, and that's kind of what I want. And of course he did. Of course, he's just killed someone on staff. He's just killed another one. Okay, you know what we're gonna do, and I might regret this. I really might regret this. We're gonna enable free fire. And we put him down pretty quickly. He's not dead. He's not dead. But he did just kill 2 members of staff. And that's really not good. I'm kind of tempted to leave free fire on for maximum security for a while. I'm very tempted to leave free fire on for a little while. Are you 2 fighting again? They absolutely were fighting again. Oh my God, enough. Seriously, enough! Oh, there's another. Well, who's dead? What? Oh my! They killed a dog! No. All right, we need a guard. I'm getting a little fed up with this prison. I'm getting a little tired of what's going on in here. That's minimums. Who else is dead? How? Why are they all so annoyed? Oh my God! Right, guards. We're having some problems. Paramedics, we kind of need you again. This is ridiculous. Okay, guard response I don't need. Paramedics, I do need. Oh my God. I might need to tone down how frequently we are searching my prisoners. What is wrong with all of you? So you're all complaining about safety. Why do they not feel safe? Let's have a read here. So even in prison, your prisoners want to feel safe. If there's lots of fights or the overall danger level is high, prisoners will feel less safe and may consider arming themselves. If this is becoming a problem, try increasing the security throughout your prison by hiring more guards, creating more patrols, or by seeing to the other needs of your prisoners. Interesting. So for minimum security, safety is a big problem. For medium security, safety is a big problem. And for maximum security, it's not as much a problem, but family. Oh, wait a minute. Why is visitation? Why does it say, are they using visitation here? I feel like I don't know if I have seen my maximum security prisoners in visitation. I'm honestly not sure if I have. Or parole. I mean, they should be able to see their family, right? I mean, we have all this visitation space here. I just genuinely don't know if any of them have ever gone to visitation. I'm kind of just wanting to stare. I mean, they're on free time right now, which is fine. I'm kind of just wanting to keep a look at this. Again, there's not really any sign of it there. They do have, that's the prisoner side as well. You're going down to the yard, that's fine. Man, I'm gonna be kind of annoyed if this is part of the problem. Do they have phones in their common room? They don't. Okay, let's give them some phones. Let's get them some phone booths in the yards and see if that helps us out at all. We'll do 3 or we'll do 5 on each side and see if that ends up being at all useful. Because visitation just does not seem to be something that they're remotely engaging with. Like there's just none of them going in there whatsoever. There's no visitors in there waiting for them. There's just nothing, unless I've messed up the room, which is a possibility, but the room isn't complaining. So, oh wait, who are you? Visitors, there we go. Okay, so no, there are definitely visitors. It just doesn't seem like anyone's going to meet them. But there's definitely visitors. They're also using the phones, which is great. So that's hopefully going to bring that family need down a little bit. There we go. Okay, they are going to visitation. Okay, that's fine. That's, you know what, get rid of the paramedics again. Let's just get them out of there. So that is sort of working. That's a step in a direction. At least for those guys. If we look at maximum security, family is something that's a major problem, but it's being dealt with and the demand is coming down a little bit. So again, safety kind of a problem, but we'll get there. For you guys, more guards. Do I just want to get more guards? Because there's none of, I have 140, but there's none available right now. 4 of them need a break. So staff morale is 100%, but I think we maybe go from 140 to 150 guards and see how that works out. We have 10 available, 7 available, 6 available. So that gives us a few that are now available, which is better than none. So that might help us out. That might bring the danger level in the prison down just a little bit. I will say the 90 prisoners shackled or in solitary is something. I don't know if, I mean, that's probably increasing the danger level, but I feel like my punishments have been pretty decent for the most part. The gang members are definitely not thrilled. I think that's a big problem as well. So let's have a look again at my gangs and see. We don't have any leaders in solitary around here or even here. I don't know who this happens to be. And then this is, yeah, this is, this, oh my God, he has racked up 206 hours of solitary confinement for attacking a prisoner, attacking staff, and 2 murders. First off, we'll unassign that guard. Second off, controversial, maybe, but I'm gonna end his punishment because my theory here is that, yeah, that immediately lowers the danger level in the prison. So I think what we're gonna do, and what we're gonna have to do, as much as I want to start working towards maximum or supermax security, I think it's time to invest in legal so that we can start working towards death row. Also surveillance. I've seen some people mentioning that surveillance is probably a good idea. That's, at the very least, it'll give me the phone tap system, which lets me listen on prisoner phone calls and gain vital intelligence. That's going to be kind of good, I think. So again, that's something that'll need more guards, and I'm kind of okay with that. I don't love letting this guy off, I'm gonna be honest, so I actually will give him another guard. We'll keep a guard on him just to make sure. But I think that's the goal. I think if he's gonna keep killing people, we're gonna look for an angle to put him in death row. And I don't remember where I wanted to put death row. I feel like this island for Supermax probably makes sense. And then I guess criminally insane could be down. So death row might be this island, which would give us a connection with a little bridge up here, which could be fun. And possibly down here as well. I say fun, it's death row. It's kind of, you know, contextually not fun, but you know, it might let me deal with some of the problem prisoners, and that's kind of the goal. And actually, just while we're in here, I want to get guard towers. This is another thing I've seen some people talking about, and I've seen some comments asking why I don't put walls along my little bridges here. And that is purely because I like the look of these. So I figure what I can do is start putting some guard towers around. Because for the most part, at least in certain situations, I'm trying to figure out a way to phrase this because I'm going to sound like an idiot and like I'm in denial regardless. A lot of the prisoners that have been breaking out are typically, you know, they'll tunnel from like down here to just the outside of this wall. They'll run across this island. Something I was seeing from protected custody at one point was them getting through these doors. So I guess I want to put guard towers at the entrances, at least a lot of the entrances around. Who, why, who now? What did you do? Killed by armed guard with shotgun. Fair enough. All right, I forgot I still had free fire going. Maybe we don't need death row. That's horrible, but you know, maybe. Maybe we don't need it. We might be all right without it. Anyway, at the very least, we do now have this phone tap system. Now, how does this work? It is designed to be built in a security room and operated by a guard. It allows me to monitor all outgoing phone calls made by inmates, giving me vital insights to planned illegal activity. Use the connect tool to connect it to my phone booths. I have no idea if it has like a limit on how many phone booths it can listen to. So I think we'll just sort of play it safe and put one in, I guess, each of my security rooms around here to see what we can do with it. We'll put one right about there as well. And that should be fine. We do have a security room down here as well. So I guess what we can go ahead and do we know if, oh, we do have phone booths there. Okay, you know what? We will do another one just down this way as well, because I think that's going to be a pretty good idea. They're not all that expensive, which is lovely. Very much a fan of inexpensive wire tapping devices. Yeah, that's a that's a way of phrasing things. There was a suspected tunnel around here. That's all right. We'll not worry too much about it. Can I? Okay, this isn't even. This is just queued right now. Is that because? I'm assuming it's sitting in here. Yeah, phone tap right about there. That's fine. I surely don't need more builders. Yeah, most of them are just hanging out down here doing nothing, so we're good. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing connected. Apparently, I can connect it to visitor booths. That's interesting. I was not aware that that was a thing. I don't know how many connections is efficient for a phone tap. The max number of active connections is 1. We might need more than one of those. We might need more than one of those. I suspect that we might need 2 of them in there. This is where we're going to start needing more money for this, because we need guards to kind of run all of these, which is slightly problematic. We'll do one there as well. We'll do another one, I guess, here. And then down this way, we can go and put, where's my security? Right about there. We'll do one, I guess, there for now and see how that goes. And I suppose what we can do is just connect these to everything so that we can hopefully just listen into as much as possible. Yeah, I think that's about all we can do. I guess. So yeah, we'll listen into these things. We'll listen in down to these guys as well. And I don't think I'm missing anything. I don't think there's any phones in any of the common rooms around here, so that should be all right. I suppose it's probably worth mentioning that in my time going around and connecting all of these, I have noticed I can also connect these to door servos. So it's entirely possible that connecting them to the visitor booths basically does absolutely nothing. Ooh, somewhere does not have power, and that's a problem. I also totally forgot about all of these up here, which is a distinct problem. We'll deal with that power shortage somewhere in just a second, because I have a sneaking suspicion I know exactly which part of the prison is out of power, and that's going to make things just a little bit complicated, and I'm a little bit worried about that one. But all of these guys can be connected. I didn't realize it cost me money to do this as well. But that's all of those. Are they connected to that phone? Did I just disconnect that servo? I did just disconnect that servo from, oh my God. What am I doing? You need to be connected to there. What are you connected to? So connect. Oh my God. If I connected that phone to everything, that's, oh my God. What, Riot under, right. Yes, there absolutely is a riot underway. First off, phone booth, clear connections. Oh my. Right. That riot can wait for just a second. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. The armed guard's killing everybody. This guy over here is trying to kill the dog. He's been shot. That's another death. Yep, they're rioting all right. Can I get riot police in? Like, what are you guys? Oh, there's another one. Yeah, there's not many of them rioting. Are they being dropped in? What are you guys? Oh my God. Well, they're not rioting anymore, which is nice. We have that going for us. I don't think these guys have anywhere to land, which is Not ideal. Can I just get rid of them? We don't really need the elite ops team here. Can we just land, like, deploy squatters? I have no idea. No idea what's going on there. Anyway, aside from that, which is really bad, this place has no power. Yeah, it's, we go from bad to worse, apparently. And the problem with this is that this power station is completely overloaded. So the solution to that, I think, temporarily is going to be to dismantle that phone tap, I think, just to see if I can maybe solve this problem by just essentially maxing this thing out without going overboard. So if I turn it back on, it dies again. If I dismantle that phone tap, is that going to be enough to do it? It turns out, yes, it absolutely is. So we're going to be limited on the number of phone taps that we can have in here. This one isn't even connected. So we're going to dismantle that one too. Yeah, this is going to be rough. This is actually going to be really rough. We are a little bit limited in the number of phone taps that we have in here. But I don't feel like rebuilding the entire power setup for this prison right now. It's not going to be the most difficult thing in the world to do that. To be fair, it's not horrendously complicated, because all we realistically need to do is build a small extension to this prison somewhere, and I guess just throw a new power plant in there and sort of separate the power systems so one side is powered by one plant and the other by the other. We could use renewables in that as well. If we can generate a bunch more of them, we can kind of plumb those into the system and have those be their own little grid, which I'm not against doing. I just think for the time being, we're going to play it safe, I think, and just sort of see what happens. Let's send some paramedics up into this prison. Definitely, we're definitely not doing great right now. I'm kind of wondering, what's the reform grade looking like? 49%. It's gone up by like 10%. The lowest we had was 39. It has certainly increased, which is not great. Yeah, not great at all. Okay. I don't. We're in such a tricky spot now. This is not good. The paramedics, I want to say there's nothing for you guys to do. The majority of people you could have been treating are probably dead now, so. Oh my, seriously? What now? Who are you? Why are you? What is wrong with you? Oh my God. How long have you been here? You've murdered 2 guards. Oh, knock him out, please. There we go. Now he's in here for 63 years. I'm gonna move him to maximum security. Oh man. Lost so many guards today. I'm gonna bring us up to 160 guards. I feel like we need it. This is getting ridiculous. We really, look, here's the good news. We are now researching death row. We are working on the guard towers. I need a lawyer. What do you mean 5 deaths? What the hell happened here? How did you just kill like 3 of them? I mean, you're going to maximum security, buddy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are out of here. He's just get 75 years for triple murder. He's gonna be here for 96 years. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a game option that I can enable that actually will have my prisoners age, which I'm very tempted to turn on because I think that could be really funny for some of these guys that are gonna be here forever. They do get more mellow as they age. It's like cats, you know, like cats. If you've ever had a cat, you'll be keenly aware that when they're very young and kittens, proper kittens, they're very, very small, they're very cuddly. Once they get to about a year and a half old, they decide that they're grown up and independent, and that's when they kind of run off and do their own thing. And that'll last for about 10 years. But once they get to about 10 or 11 years old, I find in my experience, and I've had a lot of cats, they always mellow out. And that's when they come home and they decide they're going to stay in the house. They want to be pampered. They're getting old. They might live another 10 years, but for those 10 years, they will be pampered. It's kind of like cats. It's a very similar situation as well, except with cats, you're the prisoner. And in this case, you know, these guys are the prisoners. Anyway, apparently I need a lawyer. So the lawyer can live right there and research death row, which is going to take 24 hours. We will want to get execution liability, which means my lawyer lobbies for a reduction in the required strength of the conviction before death row proceedings can be properly started. Essentially, lawyers lower the number of appeals a prisoner gets before you can schedule their execution without liability, which, yeah, that seems good. That seems like something we should do. You know what I might do with some of this extra space that we have over here? I think I want to get another kennel. Not that I think this is going to be the greatest space for a kennel, but I think another kennel would at least mean we can get more dogs in here. And these narcotics searches do happen to take forever. So I think this is probably a pretty solid idea. It needs to be 5 by 5. Are you kidding me? Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's not going to be that room. That's honestly okay, though, because what I can do is go up to this space, and this can be a big old kennel, which should be all right. We will want to do, if we go kennel, just a bunch of dog crates. How many can I put in here? We could do a bunch, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could do more than 14, but I'll do 14 for now, and I think that's all right. These dog bowls, man, I know I can put them around the place. I don't have enough dog patrols going, but I think we will get another, I guess, 14 dog handlers. 13 would bring us to 40. So let's just go to, let's just go to 45. Why not? And I guess we can, yeah, that'll be fine. I think I might have overdone it a little bit, but we probably have some spare kennels somewhere. At the very least, my hope with this is that it does massively speed up the narcotics search. And by the looks of it, I mean, they're doing great work. They're getting out there. The dogs will get a little bit tired as they go, but we are getting through this narcotics search much, much quicker. And so hopefully we can continue to do that. And hopefully if we can get them over, why is this still complaining? Oh, there's no dog crates in there yet. That's why. Hopefully once we start searching all of the other places, things will continue to be super quick and super effective. I have my doubts, but I can hope. Oh, I've just remembered, while we were building the infirmary earlier, I noticed that first aid stations are a thing. Now, this is another thing that I did see a comment about at some point. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember exactly when. But first aid stations are potentially going to be very useful, because what we can do is just place them around the prison and essentially have my staff trained to use them. So if there happens to be a riot or someone is injured or whatever, my staff can potentially grab some gear from a first aid station and help. They can potentially treat injuries, minor injuries, but injuries nonetheless, and that can potentially save some lives. It might reduce the number of deaths that we have around here, which, I mean, would be ideal. It'd be really, really good if we could sort of reduce the number of deaths that we have in and around this prison. So I think we give it a shot. I think we get just a bunch of these little first aid things in there. I think we can put a bunch of them sort of in over here as well. Not really sure how many we need or what the coverage on these things needs to look like. So since they're relatively cheap, I think we can get away with doing a good number of them. It does look like that might be a cell with a tunnel in it. It absolutely is. We will get our first aid stations again and sort of continue down this way as best we possibly can. So we'll go there, and that should be enough. We might want one in some of the canteens just to be doubly safe. Now that I think about it, it's probably not a terrible idea to have one down there, maybe even two in that larger canteen. Slightly smaller, that's a staff canteen actually, we don't need to worry too much about that. That should be fine. That should be fine though, I think. It seems like we'll be all right with all of that, so that might work out. I don't know if we need it in there. Probably fine in the yard. And I guess over this way, we can maybe do one in that canteen as well. And then what we'll need to do is go into programs, go to staff programs, and start first aid training. In fact, I want to edit the schedule. I want to go to staff, and I want to go to, is it here or is it, I think it's, I do not remember. I do not remember. Staff only, training room, first aid training. That's what we're looking for. We're just going to run first aid training all through the night because I know that training room is quite small, and this will let us sort of train all of my staff relatively quickly in first aid training, because the training room, you might remember, is this. So 4 at a time. 4, oh, that's going to take a while. That is, oh, that's going to take a, oh, that's going to be rough. That's going to be a bit, you know what? It'll be fine. We'll get there eventually, and that's fine, I guess. That's totally okay. Anyway, we now have access to guard towers. So I'm going to put some guard towers down here. That seems like a smart place to put them. I'm going to put some guard towers here and here, because that seems like a smart place to put them. And I don't really know where else to put guards. What is this? Why are there just a bunch of dogs chilling out there? That's just really weird. Can we get some terrain there to like get someone out to, can someone get their dogs? Oh, what are you, seriously? Okay. All right. There we go. Now the dogs can get back in, I guess. They can go and chill, I suppose. Really weird. Really, really strange how these things happen, I guess. As for down here, I don't know that we need guard towers. I don't feel a huge need for guard towers everywhere. I've got to be honest. I think, you know, some spots make sense. Others maybe a little bit less. Like here seems like kind of a cool spot for a guard tower. Like just in this space kind of makes sense to me. Over here, maybe. In here is kind of a cool area as well. But I think maybe we just experiment with protective custody and maximum security, since those are kind of, well, supposed to be the most secure of all of the custodies. And I guess that also means that we now need a sniper, which means $2,000 now, $500 per day. This is a highly trained marksman who will automatically occupy an empty guard tower if one is available. Will fire a number of warning shots at prisoners causing trouble within the prison walls before taking the target down. Snipers may resort to lethal force if they spot prisoners attempting to escape. Enabling, disabling free fire will alter the levels of force used in certain situations. So we need 2 of them at the very least, and they will occupy these towers. I suppose. I don't know where you're going. I don't know what you're, what are you doing there, buddy? I don't know. I don't quite know what you were thinking there. We can have 2 over this way as well, although they might run around a little bit until they find a tower that they're satisfied with. But we do have, obviously, you know, 2 towers here, 2 towers over there. That will, yeah, there we go. So yeah, if anyone tries to make a break for it out of those those particular walls, they're gonna have a really bad time. And I realize, and this is something I should probably mention before we move to wrap things up for today. I did say way early in this series that we would be doing some escape mode with this prison. We absolutely are going to do that. I kind of gave up on the idea of doing it every few episodes because for the longest time, I'm relatively convinced I probably could have got out, and I don't think it would have been particularly interesting. But I'm now very curious to see if we can get out of here. Because we have obviously we have snipers here. We have snipers over here. I just don't know. Because realistically, I do know. Oh my god. Seriously? Were you shot by no, you were killed by a rival gang member. Interesting. What is going on in here? We're just murdering them. We're just shooting them. Honestly, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, there's another example, right? I'm not entirely sure I would get out of maximum security. I do know that if I just burn the prison down, that will make my life a lot easier. I think. Again, I can't remember if that's Prison Architect or if that's the Escapists. It was one or the other. The meta was just burn the prison down. And to be fair, I don't have my staff can't put out fires. And the only part of the prison that I think is fire safe is at least some parts of minimum security. Definitely not all of it. Actually, before we wrap things up, we probably do want to go to informants and activate all of the 100% ones, maybe you as well. In fact, just activate all of them, because as it turns out, we only have 6 protected custody inmates right now, so we can bring in 7 more. And are you a potential CI? You absolutely are. We are. Wow. All right. You can go to maximum security, I think. I think you can definitely go to maximum security. What about you? What are you in for? Yeah, sure. We'll recruit. You're going to be a confidential informant for a long time. Now here is what I wanted to see. So you being a snitch, you need to go to protective custody. You need to go to protective custody as well, and that should keep you two relatively safe. You are a snitch. You should be fine. Snitch should be fine. Snitch and ex-prison guard. You are not going to be fine. We'll move you to protective custody, and that should keep us pretty good. That seems to be about everybody that would be getting targeted. There's no one down there. There's those two going to move. One of you will move. That should be all right. That should keep us in a pretty good spot. And I guess we can come back in here, and like I said earlier, we can enable prisoner aging. Enabling this option will allow prisoners to physically age as the years pass, with them becoming less energetic and weaker compared to their youth. I want to turn that on. That seems like given that we have someone that has like 123 years of a sentence, I think prisoner aging will be really interesting. I think my uniform's color, I'm just going to keep it where it is. I kind of like what we have going on here, so we'll not worry too much about that. I'm not going to change anything else, I guess. I think we're good. Inmates can turn criminally insane. That has me slightly concerned, but we'll figure that out. That'll be something we'll deal with if and when that comes about. But now we will have inmates that get older the longer they're with us, and that's potentially going to be really, really funny. But I think that's going to do us for today. On one hand, it doesn't really feel like I've done all that much, and in fairness, we haven't had a big build project today, which is definitely different to the last few episodes, but we did deal with the bigger staff room for maximum security. We got that staff canteen in here. We have discovered that maximum security is a bit of a powder keg waiting to go off at pretty much all times, which has been very exciting. Had our first riot. We managed to phone tap things. We've done a lot. It just doesn't look like it, but we've done a lot, and we've set things up. We did the research for death row. We got snipers, and I guess we're gonna be skipping Supermax and going straight to death row. Not that we're not gonna do Supermax. I just think we need death row. And so that is gonna do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.